somewhere that you guys know that is available for such advertisement. You'll see our new pre-K banners. They're pretty large. We're open to anything.
How you gonna put them up? We struggle with that with the city about, because we don't have the equipment to put out, we have to rent it. So what is your plan for putting it up?
We can look into that. I do have maintenance, our maintenance department that could possibly do that with some equipment.
I nominate the principal of Joy James.
Yeah! Together. Should make it on shoulders.
No, we get a bucket truck for her.
And I think if it's a possibility, then we can certainly supply a plan on how we would do that. And we're not even sure how many there are, how many are available, and where they are located. And so we haven't put the cost, but we have some. We do kind of have our advertisement campaign we're pulling together, and you'll see our new banners coming out around the district.
I like his idea, because we went out of town this past weekend, and there was a banner that was clearly advertising some festival they were having. Some people are crazy. Yeah, I just don't know where that would go, though. Like, where would it?
It would have to be so tall.
Yeah.
If the state even allows it.
Yeah. It's not like,
Robert, we got left.
How many brackets do we have left, Jerry?
Okay.
How many brackets do we have left?
I've got quite a bit of brackets.
Yeah, we got quite a few, so.
I've got quite a bit. Well, we were talking about an EDC about purchasing new banners for the city, so it might be, we can work together
A calendar.
and get y'all's up and get ours up all at the same time. We kind of hold off usually during this time of year because all the storms, they get beaten up and blown away, but usually during the summer months, about, I guess, May, June on, I don't know what's your time?
Yeah, when are y'all thinking to do that?
Well, we definitely want to do for back to school, so, it just depends on what your timeline is, so that we can get kids in the building on day one.
Okay.
We want all parents to know that school is starting, because we know every day they're there, then they're just more successful.
I just think we maybe share cost on that and get them all up at the same time.
Our main expense is just the bucket truck,
Yeah.
but I think even with, we lowered them quite a bit, so they're much more visible now, and I don't even think it takes a bucket truck anymore, does it? Jeremy? Darren? No?
It still takes a lift to get the top brackets on.
Okay,
Because if not, I've got a guy standing on a 15-foot ladder.
okay.
It's in the median.
In the meeting. I think it's a good idea. Make a motion to approve the request from CSD Superintendent Renee Smith-Faulkner to allow the school to use the banner poles to advertise CISD back to school and homecoming.
Second.
We have a motion to second to approve the request from CISD Superintendent Renee Smith-Faulkner to utilize the streetlight banner poles to advertise Casper ISD back to school and homecoming. Do we have any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Renee.
Never gonna get past these.
Well, thank you, we appreciate it.
We will move now back to item number 8, which is consider approval of request to hold a police force escorted cruise on April 21st, 2000, I think that means 23, as a city-sponsored event.
It's the same thing we did last year. There's only one little change in the parade route. I want the chief to tell you what that is. It just involves 2 lanes. Other than that, it's the same route as they did last year. And we're just doing the same thing as we did last year. And that way, if it's parades under the city, it's covered by the city.
Okay.
So it's not a parade, it's a cruise?
Either way, under Cornell
I
ordinance.
was going to say police force escorted cruise sounds like it could be one of 2 very different things.
We're just assuming the liability, right?
Yes.
Who ever thought the police would escort a bunch of hot rodders through the city?
We used to chase them, but they couldn't catch a lot of them.
You can do that at the new park. Burn out all you want.
It wouldn't be the first time we did it.
So the only change that you were looking at is what's highlighted? Is that what we're looking at? That's the only change that you have?
Well, the only change that we have, I think, is the, 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 the,
So we're now gonna go down Roberts Cutoff to Baylor. That one little section of Yale was
Yeah.
awfully congested, and, the police chief was kind enough to say that wouldn't be too far down. Last year we tried to stay off of Roberts Cutoff and the big thoroughfares, but that puts us down in front of some nice new houses and
Have you drove by there? Have you drove by there? See the color?
I'm colorblind, I hear it's purple?
Well, I'm a man. Looks purple-ish pink to me.
What house across the street from his?
No, it's a beautiful house, and then they painted it, whatever that is.
That big house by you?
Yeah, big.
No, they painted it purple?
It's not my house.
Purple-ish pink. I don't know what you call that.
So anyway, we're just jotting one block down beside the elementary school, then going across Baylor and back to Yale, and everything else is identical.
Johnny, you better watch out, not be a TC frat house.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I'm saying, it's not TCU purple, I'd be cool with that. Not
Well, it may
TCU.
be, you know, party town.
Don't get me started on that.
I make a motion to grant the request to hold a police escort cruise on April 21st as city-sponsored event.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the April 21st, 2023 Police Force Escorted Cruise. All in favor say, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Move now to item number 9, which is consider approval of awarding bid for the Phase 1 Red Oak Drainage and Paving Improvement Project, number 619-021, from the sealed bids received and publicly read aloud on March 24th, 2023 at 2 p.m.
I laid the, recommendation letter and the bid tabulation before all of you.
Maybe there's a big difference between,
So there is.
Yeah.
sounds like somebody didn't want the job, or,
Well, this is one of those smaller jobs that, when you go out for bid on it, you're either gonna get somebody that's smaller, that's gonna have a reasonable price, or someone's gonna throw money at it. So it's kind of my advice to staff on this when we went out with this project. I was like, look, said the opinion of probable cost that we came up with, I think, was, which would have been what we would have considered fair at the time, roughly around $62,000 to $63,000. We received 2 bids in, one at $119,000 and the apparent low bidder, which is at $69,744, which is really not that far off from what our cost opinion is. The $119, I think that contractor was probably throwing money at it or had more overhead costs than the job would allow to get the job. So we feel confident. We've gone in, we've checked the references for Texpro Construction. They all came back glowing. So we feel confident in recommending the award of the contract to Texpro.
we've done business with them before.
Yes, sir.
They do good work.
Oh, yes.
I'm just
What's
glad.
the length of time for the project?
Sir?
What's the length of time to complete the project, once they get started?
I don't know that answer off the top of
Do you
my
have
head, but
an idea?
it's probably around 90 days
Okay.
max.
Start to finish.
Yes, sir.
And this ranked high on the stormwater's list of needed improvements?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we are using that list of the worst stuff.
Yes,
that you
sir.
can afford
Yes, sir.
first. Okay.
Yes, sir, and this is one that'll really help the neighborhood over there. They've experienced a lot of flooding over there, and so it's a fairly easy one to grab some low-hanging fruit.
Okay.
On this. By putting in the curb, it's gonna divert some of that water from going to those neighbors that are experiencing the flooding downstream. So it allows us to kind of, go ahead and move forward with the Red Oak project, a portion of it to help those neighbors immediately while we're trying to get the easements downstream for the adjacent properties and stuff.
In these, we have, it's on all of our easements.
This is all in right away. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's why we broke up the project. We did it in 2 phases. One for the first phase, what we're calling phase 1, which is this portion of it, which is just within the right of way, and then the phase 2 would include both the culvert on the lower end of Red Oak and then the drainage flow behind those lots.
I used to live, I owned part of that drain culvert at one time, so.